Welcome. Welcome to yourself. Welcome to Satsang. Welcome to the Hidden Valley. So, I want to start by letting the space welcome you, us. The space's very nature. The very nature of the space is welcoming. You feel that? It's not something we do. It's the nature of the space that we are. It welcomes. So it can take some practice, I guess. But it can also be done in an instant. Allowing, pure allowing. Allowing the space, this infinite space that we sit in, that we listen in, that we think in. Allowing it to do what it does. So nothing else matters. A blink of an eye, and the breath gently being felt on the lips or the nose. Perhaps a thought or a few, but don't get on the train. Don't jump on the train of thought. Don't get in the way, because the one that gets in the way is not the real one. The one that gets in the way is not what we're tending to. And the one that gets in the way is made of this space, of this awareness anyway. So just allowing the presence, the allowing to do what it does. It can feel like some effort, but in time we see that it is completely effortless. The space has already welcomed everything that occurs in the space. It doesn't take effort for the space to welcome the words, the thoughts, the blink of an eye. so nice to carve out time for this. Our days, our weeks, our months, our years constantly filled with the objectification of life. I, the separate person, experiencing life as if there's really any separation there. I, the separate person, witnesses you, the separate person, as if there's really any separation that we can find. I mean, if we really believe in separation, we should ask ourselves, well, what really is the I that is seemingly separate from you? Do I find any separation there? Who is this I am referring to? Is it the thoughts, the perceptions, the sensations, the whole lot? Which bit? Because all of those things arise and disappear. They come and they go. No, the I that we're speaking of here is that which is aware of all of that, that which knows everything, every thought, that which makes this experience knowable. And it's not something we can find with our mind. That which makes even the mind knowable. We simply ask ourselves, what is it that knows this very experience? And I promise you this will become more and more evident. Will become more and more evident as being our every experience. My every experience, that's all that's going on. Awareness, being aware. And of course it takes time for it to have an effect on the mind and the body, for the peace of what it brings, for the happiness of what it brings to find its way into our life. But this perhaps is what we're here for, to find a deeper truth, to find out the nature of love. Love being the absence of separation. When we say, I love someone, what we really mean is that I feel no separation from that person. But what is the love itself? When that person disappears, does the love really disappear? Or have we fallen into the trap of thinking that we are separate? We've fallen into the trap of thinking that we are separate. So why we're here is to recognize who we really are. This presence, this awareness, this knowing of this very experience, right here available. Letting it touch every fiber of our existence. And don't be afraid to smile if it makes you smile. Simple self-inquiry, or rather self-abidance. It's not a mental process that the word inquiry may suggest. It's an experiential process. The mental doesn't interest me nowhere near as much as the direct experience of love, peace, knowingness. So let's just sit for a while in the practice of peace, in the practice of the presence of peace. And just letting awareness be knowingly that which it already is in every moment. Timeless, placeless. But right here, in the only now there ever is. So in these journeys, I wish to I wish to guide you into peace, because it brings me peace. It's not something I can do for you or anyone can do for me, but we get a taste. We all know this taste of peace. So really what I'm getting at is that there is no real need to suffer. Suffering is a conditioned response from feeling that we are separate from another. It is possible to find peace even in the most awful environments and circumstances, not necessarily by just sitting there and allowing to terrible things to happen. Of course not. It is a perspective, but it is an experiential perspective that happens. And it can fill every movement, every thought. And when we no longer think and feel on behalf of somebody who believes themselves to be separate, with a separate, limited awareness that has never been found, of course. When we come to understand that and trust our experience of awareness being infinite and not in time and not in space and place, not measurable, but absolutely our experience. When we come to really acknowledge that, really acknowledge that, then there is a peace that unfolds within us, whatever the circumstances. And it's a peace that the world needs, always. We all know the experience of love. It's the same thing. We're just coming in these guidance talks, these satsangs, whatever we want to call them. We're coming to understand what it is, so that we don't become dependent upon a word or a name or a path or anything, because we've understood experientially that love is our very nature. And when we come to understand that experientially, something clicks. We don't actually have to suffer. And what a gift that is to pass on to people. And of course we can never say that we will never suffer. But we can come to realize that suffering is only optional. It is not compulsory. It is our conditioning that leads us to it. But there is a way out, a way through, without denying anything, and being completely wide open to our feelings, to our suffering, to our heart, but fundamentally not forgetting to inquire into who we really are, who really is suffering, on whose behalf is this suffering taking place. Can I find that person? Could he or she ever be found? Have you looked? It's great to look. The mind just falls in on itself. I mean, really look. So I welcome you to these little satsangs. Invite you to be part of the party. All together, united, whether we know it or not. Thank you.